Welcome to Baby Boy Mulligan's Guitars, Mods, and Music. And today, we're working on a very special guitar. This guitar was a buddy of mine's son's guitar, and his son passed away. And he entrusted me to get this guitar back up and playing for friends and family to play. And I'm going to give it a basic setup. There's an issue with the switch. I believe it just needs to be cleaned because this is a 1997 guitar. This is a made for the Military Institute, and I believe that's where his son was a part of. This is a great guitar, but it's got some issues. Needs the fret ends done, needs a good fret polish, a cleanup. The biggest thing are the tuners. The tuners don't match. This one doesn't really fit in there. It's not in there right. The one in the middle, the D string. So we're going to repair that. I'll get up here in a minute and I'll show you the issue. But first, let's play it and check the electronics. All right, so that's in position 1, position 2. Middle. Yeah, see, that's what there's some scratchiness in there. We're going to deoxit all of the pots and the switch. And position 2, and at 4, and position 5. We got a little clippiness there in between. So you can hear the action is actually very low on this. And I think it's too low. It was between 1.25 and 1.4. Yeah, so we definitely got some issues there because the neck seems like the pocket is pretty straight. But we're going to check all of them. So please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And let's get this guitar on the bench and get it straightened out. Get it all set up and get these tuners taken care of. And I'm going to save these strings, I think, like I might have said before, because I think these are the last strings that his son played before he passed. So I'm going to clip them all up at the top. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc and save them for him. So let's get over there and get working on it. So I measured the nut. The nut is at 42. check it here real quick. So 42. There we go. The nut is at 42 for 2 yards. The neck. What we measure without. It's around 22, but we'll measure again without the strings. So I'm going to take these strings down and I'm going to clip them all the way up here. If I can get them off complete, I'm going to get them off complete. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that going through the tremolo. So I'm just going to take the ends off. Because like I said, I'm going to save these and put them in a Ziploc. Right, these are locked in too. Okay, so I am going to get these strings out. I'm going to bag them up. I'm going to move the position of everything. And then we are going to work on the tuners first because we need to get that set up so that we can be done with that. And then we'll start working on the body. The backs are different. So as you can see here, this one isn't even set right. So we're gonna do a little surgery here. First thing we're gonna do is get this one out of here. This one isn't even in there right. I don't even know how it held tuned. But we're gonna save these screws because I'm sure those two are the original screws. They match the others. So I think my tuners here are a little bit smaller. And they are. So they'll fit in there. So that tuner's going to go there. I'll put that in the bag too. Man, that's really. Oh, you can see somebody put a toothpick in there. So we may be able to just take the back of this. If this will fit, maybe I'll put it on the be able to put it on the end because these are going to be smaller. So let's see what we got here so we can get everything to match. This is the first little knick-knack thing I want to do because it's not a huge issue, but it is a huge issue. So now if I can swap this back, Okay, so this back is not wide enough from that one. Now, will this fit on one of mine? No, will not. So, what we will do is first, we're going to see if I can modify this with the Dremel. And I've got just the tool for that. And if this won't work, we're going to go to the other stuff, my other tips. So, okay. And that just about works. There we go. It'll go on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut that edge. That's going to be the fun part, trying not to mess the thing up. Okay, so we're going to try to bend this and break it now because we don't try not to. Oh, look at that. There we go. It's going to do it. There we go. All right, so as you can see, I got that one in there and installed. It took a lot more and a lot more time. I had to, cut that bottom out. I had to also trim the side, but I did get it in there. Now, the next one was a bit more. I had to grind this all the way down. I grinded this side a little bit. That now fits in there. There was this bad piece right here. I had to fill that also. So this got filled over here. This one got filled here. I filled that one. Now this goes in. Now this is my odd tuner, which is one of mine, one of my leftovers. But I can't get there's only 5 of these, but I can't get this to fit this one. I can't get this one to sit right over here. So we had to trim that one. Now we're going to have to trim this one. We're going to have 2 different ones on here, but it's going to actually fit. It's going to actually work, and we're going to actually be able to keep the guitar in decent tune. So that fits there now. Now what I had to do is, if you'll notice, you can see I trimmed that whole edge down. And I did the same thing over here in order to get this to line up with the holes and fit on here, but the holes line up now too for the screws. And I had to route this out a little bit more. So this turned into a major job, and I knew it would. And I had to figure that out because I wanted to keep as much as I could, stock. So to make it all work with the stock stuff, this is what we had to do. So now we're going to finish putting this last little bit together, and we'll be good to go. Then we'll be able to continue on with the project without getting new tuners, because that would have been my next route. I would have just said, look, we're going to have to get new tuners. And that would have been that. But I'm trying to save them a few bucks. I'm trying to get this where it's, you know, in good condition to play. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it to play. So now they're pretty close. They're not perfect, but they're pretty close. And they all have the same type of key. So from the front, they all pretty much look the same. And who's looking at the back from the 22nd row? This one I got to tighten back up though. I just wanted to show you. So all that work, and because I got this one to sit right, I was able to take my other modified one off, and I put the original back on because now it fit because this wasn't being pushed by this one. So it all worked out in the end. So we only got one odd one. I wished we had had the original cover. I would have trimmed the cover to fit that, and it would have really looked good. But there's what we got. That's the leftover. That one's no good. So but those are all pretty tight. This one turns really well. So worst comes to worst, next time if we got to do something else, we'll just completely change the tuners out. Okay, so now the next thing that we have to tackle is this guy right here. That was the root of the reason that it first came in. And this is bone. So, and somebody actually had marked this because this is the side that goes towards the frets. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to put some glue in there and we're going to put it back in. And you could do a dab of super glue, but I'm going to put this in here because this will keep it good. And you'll be able to knock it out if you ever had to. Super glue, that's not happening. the excess off. If that were plastic, I probably would have went with super glue, but because it's bone, and that thing is really perfect. Like it's a perfect fit. That's why I'm not worried about putting the strings on and do this, because that was a perfect fit. There's no, and we're going to double check it with the caliper. Use it to even it up. So that nut is even now on both sides. A little trick with the caliper. Now, I did want to measure. So we got 26.2 thickness at the top of the neck, and at the 12th fret, 23. So there you go, 2 yards. I hope you watch this and see. Yeah, I like that. That's so good. Perfectly lined up. He's going to sit right there. The other thing we're going to do is measure from the edge. Okay. That's exactly the same. 2.8, 2.9. Yep. I just moved it, but perfect. Okay, now we're going to go under the hood, and then that's going to be it for this video, because it's getting long. Took a lot to get that headstock ready. Okay, got them all. And we got a tight fit. Yeah, these guys are definitely old, but we're going to treat it with some deoxit. It's an old switch. Oh, they move much smoother now. That's not making that noise anymore either. All right, so let's do a quick check. Since that lays right up in there. Do a quick sound check. Okay. Okay, so everything's working. Spray a little deoxit from the top. Power off. All the wires are soldered on there good. It's a good strong switch. Okay. Let's get this right on here. Let's try it again. Let's give this a little, shut this off. Ooh, that might have done it. That tightened it up. Work that a little bit more. Yeah, it's got to work that a little more. Let that deoxit work. Now we got the noise without the crackle. You just hear them switching. Okay. Okay, the crackles are gone. Now, next video, string it up and do the setup. Thanks for watching Baby Boy Mulligan's Guitars, Mods, and Music. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So far, we're getting there. Now it's just a matter of doing the train, setting it up. So we will see you in the next one, and rock on.